deliver services to the people and to the citizens. And it is Kenya Kwanza administration that has worked very hard to ensure that the revenue allocation to the counties are really remitted as much as possible on time, despite the limited, the difficult financial challenge. So I don't know what the Kenya Kwanza administration that my brother is talking about here, maybe it's another one he encountered in his dreams last night. But the Kenya Kwanza administration in place believes in devolution. And in fact, if you look at the manifesto of Kenya Kwanza, the key pillars touches on many programs that are actually devolved. The president, you remember, allocated at least 100 million to every county to develop economic zones. And when you see more money going to agriculture, subsidized fertilizers, that is improving some of the activities which are even functions of county government. So I don't think devolution will ever get a national administration that is so supportive of their programs like the current one in place. The only thing that we need to do is that governors must work and county staff must work. They must deliver. We don't need to hear these stories of corruption and the own revenue that is collected not being accounted. And we've seen attempts of impeachment on some of these key issues. That's a fact. You check yourself before you begin accusing others. Can you go and look at yourself in the mirror and groom yourself? Okay. So I think county governments, you need to pull up your socks.
Dr. Very quick before we take a break.
Yeah, yes. There's a way Kenyans we like blame game, and then we end up wasting our whole time trying to blame each other. The bottom line of leadership, I think everybody plays a part, including a leader of Nyumba Kumi, towards the economy cannot be built or safeguarded by, let's say, the way Mheshimiwa is saying, Kenya Kwanza, it is so subjective. I am not for or against his narrative, but I believe everybody has something to do about it. The chiefs, the MCAs, the members of parliament, the Senate, everybody has something to do about it. You cannot subject it like to the national government and say they're the ones who are going to provide us with answers about if the devolved governments are like threatened. It's not about one entity, it's about everybody getting involved in making sure that it works.
All right, so there's this bill proposed by Mbeere North Member of Parliament, Godfrey Ruku. Mheshimiwa, you are here. And it says that the government could soon have sweeping powers over protests, including deciding when and where they can happen, under new laws spearheaded by you. And it also proposes the proposed Assemblies and Demonstrations Bill 2024 seeks to bar protest on highways and other public spaces, and you're claiming that they will disrupt public order. If passed, it will grant the Interior Cabinet Secretary authority to set strict rules on how demonstrations are conducted. You are the sponsor of this bill. Perhaps you stand a chance to clarify better before we take a break in under 1 minute, maybe, if you can.
We have a problem as Kenyans. We don't like reading. And we read our own things. I'm finding it a very unfortunate situation.
Yes.
Because there's nowhere in the bill where it says demonstration cannot be done in highways and other places. What the bill says, you only need to notify the police station, the OCS, where you'll be holding your demonstration. You are free to hold demonstration anywhere. That is within the provisions of our Constitution. So there's nowhere it is stated, and whoever is writing those things, you need to point out which section of the Assembly and Demonstration Bill says that you be barred from holding a demonstration or picket along a certain highway. What you are supposed to do, or what the bill is proposing, is that you have to state where you do your demonstration, so that the police can ensure the provision of Article 37 of our Constitution, which says that demonstrations must be peaceful and must be unarmed. Picketing must be peaceful and unarmed. That provision of our Constitution is not just mere words. Those are words which need to be put into effect, to be seen. Over the years, we have seen very violent demonstrations where life has been lost, where properties have been lost, where a lot of damages has been done. Those are not the intent and the letter of our Constitution. We have to ensure what we gifted ourselves in 2010 as a people of Kenya is seen to happen. And we said, even before giving the one demonstration and picketing, that every Kenyan has a right, to peaceably and unarmed demonstrate, assemble, present petition to public authorities, okay? So those two ones are critical. So what we are saying is we need to put that into effect by ensuring there are marshals which are defined in law to make demonstrations peaceful and unarmed.
That is,
we have also to put in law the convener who is calling these demonstrations. There must be people organizing. Let them be known. It is so and so. So that if you go against the provision of Article 37 of peaceably and unarmed, then the consequences are on you.
Let's take a break. Just on that drop, let's take a break. We'll break back because we need to interrogate this further and understand. It's here, this book, Article 37 that is talking about, and how that bill will streamline and affect this article. Let's talk about this when we come back and much more. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. So, allow me to shelve that bill slightly, Mheshimiwa, and talk about what really happened in the country. I'll come back and then finalize with that. But gentlemen and lady, we are all here. We all know what happened in the past month or two in the country, and we have a new administration, a new beginning. I really want to get your point because you're leaders in your own respective areas of command. Let me start with you, Daktari. We are here. We have a new system of governance now. What do you make of it? We talked about it in the past and your predictions and all that. Now, give me what you think. We're here. Go ahead.
At least you have to applaud me for my prediction went through. As I told you, this impeachment is going to go through. And right now, we already have a new deputy president. We want to respect the opinion of the president.
Yes.
And but currently, there is a bit of Kenyans are a bit in limbo, and everybody is faking it, that everything is okay. You know, I think Kenya is in a situation whereby we have a problem. We don't even know what the problem is, because there were battles in court. Is it going to be? Is the previous deputy president, is it going to be impeached or not? So Kenyans, you know, we are just in a kind of mind roller coaster. One thing after another, one thing after another, and then Shah appears. You know, the medical fraternity. There are issues in this country that there are so many that I don't know whether they are choking. I don't know what is happening. That have they really been prioritized? Okay, we are thinking of we have fixed the deputy presidency seat, but are Kenyans settled? My answer is no. They're in between unfamiliar space, whereby, and now because everybody else was looking at, let's fix this, we don't want to get to a constitutional crisis.
Yes.
We need to fix the deputy presidency seat. We need to move on. We're going to get, okay, fine, now you have the deputy president. So, you know, there's a kind of unfamiliarity in the air, but I believe Mheshimiwa is here. We are glad we have a county assembly, not county, I'm so sorry. The National Assembly member that is here. And can try and get this, that the environment, even from their constituencies, is that I feel Kenyans are in limbo. We need to unravel this unfamiliarity space that Kenyans really want the best. And I'm sure even the executive wants the best for this country. But we are so choked with so many issues, right, left and center, education, health, PSC, people losing jobs, others getting jobs, broad-based government. You know, there's so much, you don't even know what you should handle first. But I believe if you want to get a solution to anything, is when you prioritize like you want to handle it. But are we able to first establish what our problems are?
Yeah.
Because if we know what our problems are, then prioritize them through the National Assembly, then they can be sorted, not throwing everybody speaking everything everywhere. You know, I'm in this hospital, I'm not able to use my card, I'm not able to use my what, and then somebody else, I'm still, the semester is over, we are breaking for Christmas, we have not been paid, the lecturers are striking, oh, we don't want that amount of money, there's so much that is happening in this country, and if it can just be prioritized, like somebody can tell you, which problem do you have, a doctor? Are we able to say what our problem is? That's the problem. And when we say it, is there a way that they can, if they cannot be handled, all of them,
yes,
but can we prioritize them? Because right now, public universities, the students are at home or they're in the hostels because the lecturers have downed their tools. So, you know, that is something that holds our country when the education system has a problem. Not only the education system, the health system has an issue with the shifting. Of course, there have to be a teething problem in every shifting of anything.
Yeah.
Any new idea has to attract the teething problem. But are we handling it?
Okay, that's a good question. But this is a question to all of you. What is the pulse of the country? Sosion, what is the pulse of the country? Currently, now we are here. We were treated to a lot of political streamlining in terms of getting the deputy president, that is former deputy president, out of office. Now we have a new administration. Somebody said that the 2010 constitution was fully put into test because that article of impeachment was fully and has been fully activated. It has never been fully worked on since the constitution of 2010. What is the pulse of the country?
Yeah, of course, it has never been fully tested.
Yes.
It's the first time that it's fully tested. But before I delve into that, key issue that Honorable Ruku talked about here and you've raised is the Assembly and Demonstrations Act. I think it's important we have it. And that act, I am sure, is not contradicting Article 237.
I'll come back to that.
It's a, So I think it's a progressive step to enable Article 237 function.
Article 37.
Article 37, yes. Sorry, 237 is TSC, so it's a kind of stuff. and 37 is the right to demonstration. So, and it's very clear, if an act of parliament contradicts the provision of the constitution, it ceases to exist. So I'm sure what Honorable Ruku is doing is aligned to Article 37, and it is meant to work. Because we've had violence and barbaric activities here, which are not demonstrations. Demonstrations are supposed to be orderly. And as I say so, I'm a professor of demonstration because I've led many demonstrations locally and internationally. And coming to the issue of the moment, the impeachment, and I dare urge even counties, it was not put in the constitution for window dressing and for admiration. It's a tool to be used. Impeachment has worked, and impeachment is about removing an individual from office from legal and constitutional facts of impropriety and gross misconduct and violation of the law. So, and it has worked, and so it should work, and that is what we will need to have all the time so that we can safeguard governance. The country is crying for good governance so that we can have issues and problems of people properly sorted out and properly addressed.
Yeah.
The general issues that she's addressing and talking about, that there are issues within the country. I think the country is structured enough in terms of governance to address issues. They are only indicators of expectations not being met, and those gaps must be addressed. Things to do with rollout of UHC. It's a key pillar of Kenya Kwanza administration, and the rollout, it is docked by a number of issues: non-registration of members and non-preparation of facilities, and clear transfer of funds to the facilities. Those are things that must be addressed. The people who have been given jobs by the president must do them. There is no choice. And the period of the transition from NHIF to the universal health coverage, this is UHC. Every Kenyan must be treated. And if anything, I think we are in a state of ensuring that healthcare is free and it is properly provided to all Kenyans at the primary healthcare facilities, at the other facilities, the critical illnesses like cancer and diabetes is also addressed, and Kenyans are treated. I think it's a good intention that all of us must work towards. Let us address the challenges, and those responsible with dealing with the challenges, those responsible with delivering this program, and those responsible with communicating effectively, they should. The community health promoters who have been rolled out across the country should be able to do a good job, particularly in terms of registration of members, so that then we only talk of dealing with the funding and dealing with the quality of the facilities. And it's a grand thing by the president to ensure that Kenyans are treated, and is a key pillar, and that delivery must be made. The other pillars of development also must gain traction, and things even to do with education. Education is a key program in the president's agenda, and with a framework and with a presidential working party on education reforms, which to me, I think that report should be, the recommendation should be fully implemented. So right now, post impeachment, we should have the government working more efficiently.
And what is the pulse of the country? That is my question.
Yeah, of course, Kenyans is an openly democratic society, and they are aware about the pillars. And when you look at the consciousness of the political perceptions of Kenyans and their democratic freedom, this is one of the most advanced countries in terms of democratic rights. Look at the public participation in the finance bill. Last year and this year, very intensive public participation in the impeachment programs, and so the public participation also in tracking the promises of Kenya Kwanza administration, ranging from agriculture, MSME, ICT, housing, and UHC, and other key deliverables. Kenyans are asking questions which is within their right, and that is putting pressure on the government also to deliver the same. So I think we should work on the delivery model. It's now time we pivot back and concentrate on the better agenda. The better agenda is not a patent, personal, private property of the president meant to benefit the president. It has been transcribed into government policy and through legislation and through different frameworks. So it has to be delivered for the good of Kenyans.
Very good.
So the transformation of the country is key, and it requires all of us to think towards that direction, so that really we transform this country and improve the quality of livelihood of the citizens of this country. All of them, wherever they are, as the president has stated, that we must deliver development to every part and to everybody.
I hear you. What is the pulse of the country, Mheshimiwa DG?
But there's also maybe 1 minute to comment on what Honorable Sosioni said. earlier on about devolution in Kenya. They're saying there is no administration ever, either before or post 2010 constitution, that has supported devolution as the current administration. I think maybe he has just landed in Kenya. Or is
where?
just another JJ Kamodo to just defend the system without facts.
No, he's
Because
revenging.
the-
He's attempting to revenge. When I asked him where his left land,
because why am I saying this? Why am I saying this?
sweet revenge.
You see one thing,
Okay.
and I'm very sincere on this. Today, there are more than 3/4 of the counties in Kenya who have not paid their employees for months. Others have gone for bank expensive overdrafts or loans to ensure they continue paying salaries. I don't know any single employee of the national government who has gone beyond a month without the basic issue like salary. Never. I've not heard. So when Honorable Sosioni says this is the administration that has really supported devolution, yet, you know, in the words of Richard Nixon, who said when he was resigning, he said, I will not blame any junior for the exceeding their judgment or anybody under me for exceeding their perception, perspectives. And he went ahead and said, in an organization, the person at the top bears the responsibility. And therefore that responsibility rests in this office.
Yeah.
And he accepted it by resigning. So, you know, as policymakers, there is no way we are going to deviate from all these challenges. We must speak about them. When you see devolution that continues to be suppressed, when you are hearing billions worth of national contracts, even some of them doing mandate that is supposed to be done by counties, you wonder where is our priority. And that's why I'm saying it is good we be factual on what we tell Kenyans. Now, coming to your question of post-impeachment, and again, my panelists, my colleagues, warning counties about the same, I'll tell you for sure. There is a deputy president that was elected by Kenyans and another one who was manufactured by Kenya Kwanza. That is the difference. And Kenyans are waiting for them down there at the grassroots level. I can tell you I'm at the grassroots. And from the region, even those leaders who were very eloquent trying to support it nationally, some of them cannot even go. I've never even stepped at their homes. I've never. They cannot even address their villagers. Where they come from. They're up here, they are mouthing, talking everywhere. So this thing, it will be a lesson in a very good way in the next election. My own opinion, and I'm entitled to it. It will revive politics of others. It has ended politics of others. And Honorable Ruku, they are very clever. This honorable member here is very clever. Check Honorable Ruku's sentiment before and after. Look at the sentiments from maybe the Rift Valley part of the country and even some other parts of the country. They were very clever to, at least I think they purchased some, or bought some few fellows, first timers in Mbunge, to spearhead some of these things without knowing what they were getting into. So Kenyans out there, irrespective of what they do, some have succeeded, others you'll never hear them politically. and I can tell you the country is really bigger part of the country is really concerned of really what happened, because we post 2010 constitution, we had a president and his deputy. And I remember President Uhuru Kenyatta tolerated and accumulated the then deputy president, and that is how he was able to do his politics, support the president, and do whatever he was doing until he even had an opportunity to raise to the presidency. What was all this so hurried by Kenya Kwanza to just replace their number two? Anyway, I'm not bothered about their politics. Maybe that is the best way they do it. But if by the way, Professor is a competent Kenyan, and nobody's questioning his capability to perform. But the manner in which Kenya Kwanza did it, in the future, might injure him. He need to be very careful, because I'm sure as a professor is now a world citizen who can be anywhere and build the world. So I think post what we are seeing, if by exit of the former deputy president, we will see things fixed. Functioning healthcare, which is account function. If we will see stoppage of selling fake fertilizers, threatening food security of this country by Kenya Kwanza, will stop. Then it is a good thing.
Okay.
If we will see our security agencies well remunerated as a result of exiting of the former deputy president, then it's good. If we see a normalized, well-functioning country, then good.
Okay.
Then there is also another thing. Kenya Kwanza, they need to think of devolution, because I don't think Kenyans are ready to let go of devolution.
Who was your English teacher? He taught you very good sarcasm. Your teacher taught you some sarcasm.
I like to comment on something.
Let me finish on the devolution. That is my passion. Because any country on earth,
yes,
tell me, and including in this panel, I want anybody to pinpoint any country that has developed, that has transformed economically without going decentralized way. So it is very important. I'm passionate about. I'm not doing this because I'm a deputy governor in a county. No, I'm doing it because I've done research on it. We have debated. We have evaluated countries that have developed, which are middle, which have grown, which have slipped back to poverty, which have progressed in terms of development, and decentralization, devolution is the only way to go.
Very good. I'll come back to devolution as we finalize. But Dr. Just a minute. Let me come to Mheshimiwa Ruku because I need to get his point as well. Mheshimiwa, just before, I think a month or so plus ago, members of parliament from the other region, led by you, read a statement, supporting Kindiki's, candidature and all that. It was all there in the media. That's in the back burner now. But what is the pulse of the country? You've heard him speak very heavy things. I mean,
it is surprising how Kalonzo Musyoka has misled huge number of politicians from Ukamani region for over 20 years. It really surprises me because remember Kibaki was elected in 2007. They created a lot of problems. That's how Kalonzo became the vice president of Mwai Kibaki. Know that Kalonzo Musyoka had participated in election of Mwai Kibaki as the president of Kenya. Then 2013, of course, they went to the bush. 2017 again to the bush. 2022 again to the bush. And even now, they are headed in the same direction. It's unfortunate. And I know my brother, Honorable Mwangangi, is a man who has been in the National Assembly. He's a man now serving in the county government. He has several years of experience in politics. I am sure he can be able to read the mood of the nation in the most appropriate way. That time is up for the kind of politics which the Wiper Party leader has been championing over the years. Clever politicians like Raila Odinga, they know to what extent they can push in a government or the government that has been elected with majority. And they do so with precision. Raila Odinga is always very, very right and very good in his timings. That's why he has been in any government for the last 20 years, though opposing at the first initial stages. And I think that's the direction of Kenyan politics. We want to talk as Kenyans. We don't want to talk as regions. We don't want politicians who champion regional or ethnic thinking, ideologies. Wiper Party has championed ethnic and regional politics for far too long. We don't mind wherever you come from, whether from a very huge community or from a very small community. You can lead this nation. It is all about the ideals, it's all about the promises or the manifesto which you sell to the people of the Republic of Kenya. That is exactly what Professor Kithure Kindiki is espousing. We hand someone who could not be advised as far as regionalism, ethnic division is concerned, who could not take into consideration the provisions of Article 10 of our Constitution, the principles of governance and the national values. And one of the key is protection of marginalized community. The content at which it was addressing other minority communities in our country was outrageous. And that is not a provision of our Constitution. The provision of our Constitution, all from Article 1 all the way, is not mere words. These are golden letters written in our Constitution, which we have to consider day in, day out. Having said that, Professor Kindiki, he has an opportunity to prove to Kenyans that he can unite this nation and that he can be a proper and indeed principal assistant to the president. We want to see Professor Kindiki moving around the nation, going to Western region, going to Northeastern region, going to all corners of this country. We don't want to see him in Mount Kenya. We don't want to see him in Mount Kenya East. He's no longer a man from Mount Kenya East. He's now the champion of the interest of all Kenyans, regardless of the race, regardless of the religion, whether female or male, regardless of the community, whether huge community or very small community. He is the champion of each and every Kenyan who voted for this government, who did not vote for this government. Every Kenyan deserves services from this government, because all of us, we are taxpayers. I don't want to use that word, but the nonsense of Kenya is accompanied.
You've used it already. You've used it. Okay. It was choking you.
The nonsense, I mean, the shenanigans
Right.
of
Better.
Kenya is company. It's gone. Every Kenyan has a right. Every Kenyan is a taxpayer. Must feel part and parcel of the government and must feel part and parcel of this nation. Therefore, we are very happy that the government is coming. There's no bickering. There is no pull and push on seeing darkness. We want to see inspiration. We want to see, leadership which is giving inspiration to Kenyans and hope that the future of Kenyans is bright. We have many issues which need to be resolved, but also we have many issues which bind us together.
Okay.
And that's why we are saying we have one nation, one flag, one people, one national anthem. These are the guiding principles which, moving forward, Kenya Kwanza administration Kenya Kwanza ODM administration, because ODM is at the center of government. They have the National Treasury. All the cabinet secretaries revolve around the Treasury.
Okay.
Because that's where they get their resources. So it's Kenya Kwanza ODM administration will deliver to the promises of Kenyans.
Interesting.
Moving forward. But we are calling upon Wiper to come on board. Let's steer this nation together. Let's move this nation.
Is there space for Wiper?
There is.
And the NAC.
Government is big.
They are bolting.
Kenya is big.
It is like heaven.
We are calling.
Government is like heaven.
We are calling Wiper to come on board. Let them stop the shenanigans of dividing Kenyans. Preaching.
You have a message to Mheshimiwa Kalonzo.
I want to comment on something, Victor.
Before that, you know,
we take a quick break.
Just a right of reply.
I'll come back to you.
Just 1 minute. Just less than a minute.
Yes.
Less than a minute. Less than a minute.
Right of reply.
Okay. The record is that we just go for a break. I need to fill your cup as well. All right. Stay with us. You need to read this card.
Taking them out as they clear their other issues.
Okay.
Hatujaingia kwa kitanda.
Mheshimiwa Mwangangi, you're saying something.
Yes.
And then I'll come back to you, Doctor.
Okay.
I told you from the word go. Personally, Mheshimiwa Ruku can confirm. We have met for the first time here. We have never sat anywhere. I only see his intelligence. I measure his intelligence in Bunge, the way he argues, like in national forums like these ones. But I will tell you one thing. Mheshimiwa Ruku,
I don't really think about my intelligence.
so much. Thank you so much for confirming all that ODM has been denying. That they came together and formed what all the women in my village told me is a bread-based government, not broad, bread-based government. Why?
That is new.
After they have come together, we are seeing the selling off of our airport. We are seeing all the problems, economic problems we have never experienced in this country. So it is not broad, it is bread-based government. And I agree with those women at the village. And I wonder, when you invite Wiper or the opposition to come and build the nation, which nation are we building?
Kenya,
We join the administration that is mandling, massacring our youths? Is that what you want us to join? Is that what you want Kalonzo Musyoka to be part of? Okay. You want us, Kalonzo Musyoka, to join an administration that is threatening national security, national food security, by selling fake fertilizers to Kenyans? You want Kalonzo Musyoka to join an administration that is killing devolution? It is in the same spectrum that I will also say it is the same administration that has engineered removal of CDF. And you want Kalonzo Musyoka to go there? They must call them to order. You can't compare Kalonzo Musyoka to Kindiki. When you talk about Kindiki, what do you remember? What do you know of Kindiki? You can't compare.
He's a professor.
So in this case, because I think if we want to discuss the governance and the leadership of the country, that is a whole topic. You will call us. Allow me to say this.
Although I agree that you cannot compare
you see,
Kindiki and...
listen, Ruku.
You know, one is a professor.
I gave you...
The other one is a quack
just
of law.
No. Mheshimiwa Ruku, let's have
I find that a
respect
bit
for our
harsh.
leaders.
Mheshimiwa Kalonzo is a senior counsel.
Yes.
Oh, he's a senior counsel.
Yes.
My
He's a
apologies.
senior
Is what-
counsel. They belong to the
My
same
apologies.
category.
So kindly,
My apologies.
you know,
Withdraw and
Kindiki-
apologize. You are out of
I
order.
withdraw and apologize.
Thank you.
Kindiki is my personal friend, by the way. If he comes here, you call me by my first name. I have nothing against him. I'm not even judging his competencies.
I think
but
we are
you
trickling
look at
down
what we have built. But I've told you, Victor, if we are to discuss the governance and the leadership of this country, you will call us for a different thing. What I wanted to say is what I want, just one bit. What I wanted to say, on as much objective as possible, is as a country, if we are to transform, we have no way. We must go decentralization. We must go decentralization. And that is what Kenyans fought for. And through a fact, I'm telling you, counties have gone for several months without their constitutionally mandated share of revenue, which is withheld by the national government. None of these Kenya Kwanza leaders, including this very good lady who is voting for bread-based administration, none is talking about decentralization. They are just busy defending that which cannot work for this country.
Okay.
Yes.
How was the constitution tested? Out of all the things that we've seen.
You see, I had something I was commenting, and it's piling up. I think I'm even forgetting some of the things I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
So allow me to a bit take you back. First, I'd like to comment about Article 37. My question is, why are we talking about it? Why is it important for them to streamline it? When they try and streamline Article 37, that gives the citizens freedom to picket whatever way, peaceable, whatever they have said it. Why are you talking about it? When you talk about it, you are trying to take away the freedom. So when I come to you and then you tell me, say where you are going to demonstrate whatever thing you're doing. So my freedom is taken. My freedom is taken away silently, quote unquote. So in other words, it's just a play of words and mixing them. One word comes before the other and then makes it okay for the government to be safe in case of future protests. According to me, that's interfering with the freedom, and it should be left as is, because if I come knowing politics is a dirty game. When politics is a dirty game, I come up and say, who is leading these protests? So if people are going to die, if people's properties are going to be damaged, which often happens in many demonstrations, so what will it happen? Who was the leader? Who was the leader of this protest, of these demos? That person is going to be subjected to some kind of legalities. So when they say that, I believe, I don't trust that. That is very clean. That is very clean, that we should handle that article. It takes away the freedom of the citizens to picket. It should be left as is, so that if I want to demo, let it be let me exercise my freedom. Leave alone no weapon, no what, and all those things. You take away the freedom by trying to challenge Article 37. Two, when we talk about the broad-based that Mheshimiwa His Excellency Mwangangi, clearly, okay, fine. I don't want to ask him what Honorable Sosion asked him, but clearly he has a lot of disgust when trying to address this Kenya Kwanza. I'm sure there's somewhere he's coming from. And wherever it's coming from should be something to do with his county and the lack of disbursement of funds to there. So he has a lot of disgust. But what I would like to say...
It's called personal bile.
No, that's not my opinion. Those are not my words. Those are your words, Honorable Sosion. And then about the broad-based, and then, Mheshimiwa, in the recent past, Mheshimiwa Raila was a bad man. He was the bad man. He was the bad everything. Then he comes on board. Now the narrative is changing. Mheshimiwa Raila all of a sudden is a good person.
It's an African statement.
No, all of a sudden it keeps on becoming bad and good when it works for the government. And then what I'm saying is, and it is very clear, personally I'm in ODM, and what I like to say is, we are not part of that, of the Kenya Kwanza. We are only helping them out, sort out the internal issues that were threatening the country. Let us not be confused.
Why are you meddling into people's affairs then?
No, I am not. We are not meddling into people's affairs. We are coming in to rescue a situation. Remember, this country was going on fire.
Okay.
And what was the solution? Here, Honorable Raila had to come in. You know, he has a very big mandate in this country to bring peace to us, because one of it is his years, his wisdom. And when he does that gesture, other people confuse it and start calling it bread-based. It's not bread-based. And it can never be bread-based. It is broad-based. Because they came in to fix treasury.
I think she has made a point.
I've made a point, and then I'm saying, you know, it's not one size fits it all. It will never be one size fits it all, the way it is trying to be portrayed. It is when it works for you. And now we have a new deputy president. When we have a new deputy president who comes also from Mount Kenya, and perennially since independence, they have to realize Mount Kenya has been the mainstream of the political space of this country. But I am glad with the Kindiki deputy presidency, because what that says is that Mount Kenya, they are on a yellow political, they are on a yellow card politically.
What do you mean?
Are you getting what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
They are fizzling out. We have to get into this space. Other regions have to get to this mainstream of politics. You know, saying Kindiki will be going everywhere does not solve the social injustices in this country.
I think we are getting off the mark from.
There's something we need to correct first before.
We'll clarify that,
real practical issues. Let us not trivialize the activities that are going on as a threat to a certain ethnic bloc, as a strength to imagine somebody at some corner. We are talking about transformation of the country. And if it was about the impeachment, it was not impeachment of a region. It was impeachment of an individual with grounds clearly laid out. So really, we must divorce that, even as panelists and intellectuals and as Kenyans, and living within the framework of Vision 2030, where we must transform our politics to be issue-based. If Ogendo is being impeached, we are not impeaching ODM or Kisi. We are impeaching as an individual. So somebody was impeached. And so trying to imply that Mount Kenya is on a yellow card.
It's on a yellow political card.
It's a wrong thing. Mount Kenya is fairly sitting squarely and standing on 4 feet within the framework of politics. Yes, so I don't think even within media we should promote divisive ideas.
Not at all. That's not
that looks like some people are being isolated. And I want to say what the president has said, and the president said very clearly, even during the swearing in of Kindiki, that we shall develop and include every part of the country. Every part. We must be a country that remains united. And when you talk about the person of Professor Kindiki, allow me, don't stop me, because you allowed them. I've been quiet the longest and listening.
And when will I stop you, you'll also stop, right?
When you talk of the person of Kithure Kindiki having been picked by the president, and you look at his credentials, the Kindiki, the professional liar, the intellectual, an experienced politician who has led in this country for quite a while, and international also in character, and somebody very open, and somebody of merit. We must be a country of merit that rewards merit. He is not from a big ethnic community in this country, but he's in an office that Kenyans are comfortable with as an individual, and he comes in with potential skills and capacity to drive this country. But my brother here is telling us about Kalonzo, and I agree with Ruku. Kalonzo should stop playing games of magic over the years and walk straight to State House and engage the president. ODM is not And by the way, we have all been members of ODM, including the president. So there's nothing you can tell us about ODM. And when Ruku says ODM Kenya Kwanza administration, it is real. That is what is happening. Ukiona vyaelea vimeundwa. And the president said broad-based government. That is what the definition of the president, and is willing to work with anybody. Why are we trying to behave like you are not believing what you are seeing? Seeing is believing, and it is going to work that way. Wapende wasipende, because we must transform this country pragmatically and seriously. So those living in denial, including my fellow friend here and Kagendo here.
I'm not Kagendo.
Yes,
that is exactly where we are.
I want to correct the notion that politics is a dirty game.
Correct.
That is not true.
The foundation of the country.
And that is not the definition of politics.
Correct.
For those who have studied politics, or the definition of politics, according to in his book, Politics Among Nations of 1979, defines politics as allocation of resources authoritatively. There are other many definitions by different scholars on what politics is, but there's nowhere politics is defined as politics is a dirty game. Nowhere. And this should be clear because we are international televisions. I have been a student here at the University of Nairobi doing international relations and diplomacy, and it would be abuse of scholarship if I sit here and agree to the point that politics is a dirty game. It is not a dirty game. Politics is all about allocation of resources authoritatively, and that's why there is huge competition in political positions. That's point number one, which I wanted to clarify. Number two is the fact that also we want to move away from groups, from regions. The issue of mentioning Mount Kenya, the issue of mentioning Ukambani region, Western region, Nyanza region, we must move away from that kind of politics, moving forward as a Republic of Kenya. Any Kenyan, regardless of where you come from, whether you come from Ramu or Kuria or Inomambe, you have the capacity, you have what it takes, you have the wherewithal to lead this nation. The politics of ethnicity is a thing of the past. But we have a few politicians who don't want to move away from that. And that's what you are saying. Kidiki does not come from Mount Kenya region. Kidiki comes from Kenya. Professor Kithure Kidiki is a Kenyan. Dr. William Samoei Ruto is a Kenyan. That's how we need to see our leaders moving forward.
Yeah.
This politics of, first of all, coming from where we come from, Cancuns of tribes and ethnics, it doesn't help anybody. When you're in a position of leadership, at whichever level, you serve those who elected you and those who never voted for you. That is exactly what the two gentlemen at the top, President William Ruto and his government, they are doing.
What should you expect?
We should expect within these 3 years huge transformation of this nation in a very serious way. When it comes to health sector, we know there are some teething problems now within the first month of the implementation, but this is an opportunity where all our dispensaries in the rural areas and our health centers, that is level 3 hospitals and level 2 hospitals or health facilities across the nation will be functioning. This will go a long way in reducing the cases which we see in level 5 hospitals and level 6 hospitals. Because what has been happening is our dispensaries and level 4 and level 3 hospitals, health centers, have not been functional. Hence, accumulation, I don't know whether that's the right one. The disease is not getting treated early enough. The disease eats the body progressively or gradually. By the time you are going to level 5 hospital, you are in a very bad state. Our level 5 hospitals are overwhelmed by so many cases. Same case to level 6 hospitals, which are referral hospitals. We are going to see transformation of the health sector. We are going to see transformation of the education sector. We are going to see major, because this government is going to broaden the tax base without injuring the citizen, without injuring the common man. That you are comfortable to pay the taxes, and at the same time you are able to see.
Okay. So
at the moment, Kenyan government has requested IMF.
What the Deputy Governor said, that now that Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua is out of office, now that we are going to see change in hospital, health sector, education. That's what you said?
No. What we are saying is, you know, that's a very different perspective, and that is his own perspective.
Yeah.
Government will work in an harmony. There will be no bickering and push and pull within the cabinet, within the ministries, within that implementing agencies of the government. So, because, you know, first of all, government is politically made. It's politics which makes a government. And if politics is not right, very little will go on as far as, because every day will be firefighting. Every day we'll be waking up to do political, I don't know, controlling political damage, which so-and-so has done over the weekend. Because, for instance, you are very senior, you are somewhere over the weekend in a church, you saying some things which are very bad. So the entire of that week, instead of us focusing on what is wrong as far as Shiv and Shah is concerned, we are focusing on what are we supposed to do politically to take care of whatever the guy has done. So we are going to see harmonious, quiet, well-focused administration moving forward to transform this nation. The housing sector, the affordable housing sector, is moving at a very high speed. We are going to see acceleration of transforming this country in terms of implementation of affordable housing across the nation. So these are things which will benefit the Kenyans in a very, very big way.
All right.
But you see, Andy Victor, next time you invite us here, you balance. Don't bring government, these bread-based, many of them, and then just one person to speak for on behalf of Kenyans. It's not proper. Now, and they have said they labor. And when you listen, they are labeling too much.
Don't allow such statements
I'm
to prevail.
quoting the words of my old ladies assembly.
So speaking on behalf of, it's not right.
I received the memo clearly.
Victor, I told you.
The agitation is at another level.
You remember when I started, I told you, very odd, including my own mom, talked of bread-based, which Honorable Ruku confirmed, saying ODM is at the heart, is now part of the government, at the heart of the government, where the money every minister goes. bread-based, which not Kenyans have got nothing to do with. Now, there is one thing I want to say. Before Bear North electorates went to poll and elected one Honorable Geoffrey Ruku, nobody knew who Ruku was. It is good as he speaks, as he articulates his ideas at national fora, he appreciates that fact. There is nothing criminal with the Professor Kithure Kindiki coming from Ukambani. There is absolutely nothing. I hold a different opinion that strong communities will make a strong country called Kenya. There is nothing criminal about that. It is even in the constitution that even when making national appointments, they must reflect the face of Kenya, which is not the case now. You can hear it is now ODM and these others. So what I want to say is we need to appreciate Kenyans from wherever they come from.
Yeah.
It is not a crime that I was born somewhere. It is out of that somewhere, and the way I was raised, that Kenyans can see somebody now trying to talk on their behalf. Yeah. Thirdly, I think when we come to this forum, it is other than labeling too much, because I'm seeing the bread-based, they have difficulties in explaining what is happening, what they have done, what is going to happen. They have difficulty because there is nothing that is happening. I can tell you for free, there's nothing that is happening. And that's why we have problems everywhere, because we are focusing on the wrong things. Okay?
Okay.
If the current president was well taken care of by the fourth president of the Republic of Kenya, and allowed to do his politics even from a government office, that is where he lodged his wheelbarrow, in a government office in Karen. Yet he could not allow an elected deputy president to just do his work, even if it is for 5 years. And he listened to Ruku, who wants to fix his local politics by singing Kithure Kindiki so that he can get elected. You know, now we can't go that way. So in this case, I think we need to respect human rights. We need to respect our constitution. I don't think it is in the business of any leader in this country to kill, to abduct, forceful eviction of Kenyans at night. When Ruku and the group told us this will not happen.
You know, it is wrong to give someone
in this
a
case,
lot of airtime to talk propaganda.
Government, relax. Government, relax. Government, relax.
You know, one thing,
Victor, so in this case,
Victor, we are not
that is too subjective.
It's not.
I think
it is too subjective.
Victor,
it's not.
Okay.
And,
Victor, for your information,
is it
for
too
your
it is a
information,
fact.
Victor,
Okay.
for your
Victor,
it is
information,
too subjective.
Victor, it is a fact. In Kenya, we have forced abductions, which Kenya National Human Rights
I don't even know what we are
Commission has confirmed it is government agents who are doing this.
About impeachment.
He's completely out of order. He's completely out of order because he has
I'm on the
gone
point.
to, he has
Because
gone to
we are
areas.
talking about
What
posts.
are we talking about?
We are talking about posts.
Victor,
You see, we are talking about post this
Now,
impeachment.
we are out of time. We are out of time.
Victor.
From what it looks, is it true that you're not known
No,
before
you
you're
gave
elected?
him too much time.
Is it true that you're not known? He is making allegations.
he has his own freedom to say whatever he wants to say,
Okay.
but the fact is,
Right.
whether known or not,
Okay.
the issue is I am grateful to the people of Better North for giving me an opportunity of 5 years
Yes.
to serve them
Very good. That is
as
what
a
I
member
wanted
of
you to
parliament.
say.
Okay.
As the member of parliament, I'm very, very, very grateful and honored
Correct.
by the people of Better North.
Thank you.
But having said that,
Thank you.
it is important, Victor, to let my brother here know.
We are out of time.
No, you know, I'm not.
I really have
I'm
to
not.
say something.
I'm not here to champion on what he may saying. I don't know, Professor Kithure Kindiki.
Okay.
Remember, 283 members of parliament. Those who are 236.
Yes.
Those who are in parliament, all of them, whether Wiper or ODM or Kenya Kwanza, all of them.
That's
Voted. Listen, all of them.
When you are handling issues touching on Kenyans.
All right.
Voted for
Yes.
Kindiki
Thank you so much
to
for
be the
watching.
deputy
So
president.
much. So,
Now-
Sosion
All
has,
of them. There was
Sosion
no
has been-
abstention.
I have to
There was
appreciate
no.
that Sosion has been
No.
very.
Before
Very good today.
Mheshimiwa
He's been
goes,
very
you know,
demure.
Ava Wanjiku message
I'm
for
Victor Olo. Thank you
Mheshimiwa.
so much for watching. Better North Member of Parliament, Mheshimiwa George Godfrey Ruku, thank you for coming, and the rest of you. Asante sana.